Hi and welcome back to the Nerd Shelves. I'm Judy.
And I'm Michael.
Today we're gonna review Modular Board of Scythe.
Yay, the Scythe modular board.
Oh, we're so excited about it. So why don't we get into it?
Sure.
So, as you can see, we already lay out here. This is a new board. Replaced the old board, and not just this, it's pretty cool. It's double-sided.
Yes.
As you can see, I'm gonna flip the other side too.
Yeah.
Sorry. Look at that.
Yeah, so now you have two sides to choose from. The original board, the other side was when you wanted to have the larger board.
Yeah.
But this is, it doesn't have the larger board. It's just two boards you can use in the regular game. And they're just different layout of the factions.
Yeah, you can see these 4 spaces here. I'm going to show you what they can be. So here we have those boards. And again, they're double-sided.
Yeah.
And that's really cool because, okay, so when you put it down, make sure those pictures, they're facing the right way.
Yeah, exactly. They have to be oriented the right way. Exactly.
Yeah. So let's say we're going to put those guys down next to their home base. Okay. Now, one thing you need to remember is when you see those, when you see the legs, they're next to your home base, when they're adjacent, make sure you flip it to the other side because the legs are not supposed to be adjacent to the home base.
Right. And the good thing about these is that if it is beside the home base,
you just flip it
you
right
flip
over.
it and it always works. It
Yeah.
will always work. So this is always random in the placement of the lakes and the resources. It's always random this way, which is really cool.
And one thing about it I like really much is that, let me find an example here. See this one? There's a river.
Yep.
And there's a lake. Now they place like this. The river is now part of the lake.
Right.
So when you play this game, you do not need a river walker to go through that because now it's part of the lake.
But you do need a lake walker.
Yeah, now you do.
So this is still a river.
Yeah.
But when it's adjacent to the lake, now the lake just becomes, or the river becomes part of the lake.
Yeah, I like that. That's semantic, right?
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Exactly. It just becomes part of the same body of water.
Yeah.
Another thing that you can do, which is pretty cool with this setup, is depending on the number of players, you can actually remove some of these. So now, if we remove 2 of them, the board becomes much smaller, which is great for a 2-player game. There's a lot more proximity to each other, to your opponents, and it makes the game a lot more...
I want to say intense.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot more tension, which is pretty
Yeah, because now I cannot go the other side, right? For example, if we are across like this, say if we are across like this, now I cannot go this way to go there. I have to go straight.
That's right, exactly. Yeah, that's pretty neat. So that's the beginning of the setup.
Yeah.
And then what you do is, make sure all of the icons are facing the right way.
Yeah.
Now, every faction also comes with its own home base. So as you can see, on the board, all the home bases are empty.
Yeah.
So then what you do is you flip them over like this, you shuffle them up, and you randomly put them out on the board. So this, again, is going to be different every time. And there's always one like this that is no faction is allowed to play there.
Yeah.
Okay, so then how you decide on your factions with this modular board is everybody is going to get one random player mat. Now, as you know in the regular game with the player mat, whoever has the lowest number on it gets to be the start player.
Okay.
So in reverse order, the player with the highest number now looks at their mat, decides what resources they want, and now gets to look at the board, depending on looking at the resources for whatever action they want to take they think is important, can look and decide, while this faction is close to the resources I want, I'm going to be that faction.
Wow, that's a lot of benefit there. Right?
It's a great benefit, So now you get to choose your faction dependent on how the modular board is set up and your player mat. So that is really neat too. That's part of the strategy.
I love this skin so much.
That was pretty cool. And then the last thing that the modular board comes with, it just comes with more of these bonus tiles for building placements.
Yep.
And there's a lot more random
Yeah.
bonuses that can come out.
For the end game, right?
For the end game bonuses, and these are based on where you build your buildings.
Yeah, I love those. They definitely add a bit spice to
Absolutely.
the game.
Yep, absolutely. And it's nice, especially if you play the game a lot, it's nice to have more options of that for sure.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, so that's how you set up the game. Other than that, the game plays exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
But it adds so much randomness.
Yeah.
It changes the game. And for me, the best part about this is we play this game a lot with 2 players.
Yes.
It's mostly, especially now during COVID and the pandemic, it's usually just you and I playing.
Yeah.
So one criticism many people have with this game, especially with a lower player count, is the board is just too big. So if your faction's way over here and my faction's over here, we are never going to see each other, except for maybe if we're going to go to the factory.
Yeah.
But now, if let's say your faction's over here and my faction's here, we remove these.
You have no choice.
You have no choice.
Go in there.
That's right. The board becomes a lot more tense.
Yes.
It becomes a lot smaller.
Yeah.
And it just makes the game way more interesting. I think we have, before when we used to play it with the regular board,
Yes.
we may have 1 combat in the game.
Yeah.
Now we have, I would say,
More
3
than one,
or 4 combats every game,
Yeah.
which is great.
It's good because it forces us to do combat, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That is
Absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah. Now, is there, I know there's something else that you wanted to talk about, that you loved about the modular board.
So when we received the board, can I say it?
Sure.
I was looking into this because we talk about the artwork in a lot of videos, and I absolutely admire Jacob Rosalski. His art is amazing.
Yep.
Okay, so I found it's very teeny tiny weeny, but you can see those pictures. It's like what you say Easter egg.
There are Easter eggs, yeah.
They're hidden pictures, and if you look closely,
Yeah, I think we're just going to show one because we don't want to give them all away.
yes, you gotta find it yourself. But wow,
Yeah.
I can't stop looking for them when I play games. It's
Yeah.
just so much fun. I love it.
Exactly. So the one that, well, obviously the one that caught my eye first, or maybe not first, but the one I liked the most was, if you look very closely, you can see R2-D2 and C-3PO sitting in a field.
Yeah.
And there are other ones all throughout this game.
Yeah.
We're not going to say who or what they are. You have to find them yourself. But it's so neat that they've added these little Easter eggs.
Definitely. I love
So
it so
cool.
much. If you find anything, comment down below.
Yeah, yeah.
Let us know.
Exactly. Yeah, so
I love it.
that is the modular board. And again, if you play with 4 or 5 players normally,
Yep.
I think this modular board is interesting. Maybe not essential. But if you play with less, especially at 2 players, I think this modular board is absolutely essential.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
we will never play with a full board again.
Yeah, this is just more fun. And
Way more fun.
I am loving to do battle now.
Yeah.
I dare to do it more because you kind of have no other choice, but it's actually fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
exactly.
I changed the strategy of playing Scythe after we add this.
Yep.
I play differently when I play base game.
Sure.
It's very different.
Yep. You're right. It does. It feels like Scythe.
Yeah.
But it does feel a little bit different now that there is. I mean, I guess it makes 2-player feel more similar to multiplayer because
Yeah.
of the tension with all of the
Yes.
your opponents so close.
It's more excited
More exciting, definitely. Yeah.
while you're looking for Easter eggs.
While you're looking for Easter eggs. Exactly. So
Yeah.
that is our review of the Scythe modular board. I just want to say here in full disclosure that this was given to us by Stonemaier Games.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you, Jamie, for a review copy.
Yes.
It's not sponsored. This is still our opinion. We still love it. It has nothing to do with it. But just full disclosure, it was sent to us by Stonemaier Games.
Yes. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely give a chance and let us know what you think about it
Absolutely.
under the video.
Definitely. Great. Now, go ahead and get another game off of your nerd shelves.
Take care.
Bye.